Hello, and welcome to Power Moves, where we find ways to level up in our career, level up in our finances, and level up in life in general. Good evening to all of you. It's so good to see you again. I hope your week has gone well and to plan. So, tonight's topic is going to be focusing on the journey and not the outcome. How to focus on the journey and not the outcome. Um, and yeah, it might seem like a weird concept to a lot of you. I think I was in a habit tracker app a couple of months ago, and that concept was one they put in a little blurb for me to read. And I thought it was genius because we spend most of our time on the journey and we cannot control the outcome. We try, we do things to make the outcome turn out in our favor, but we should be enjoying the journey, because if we're not enjoying and living in the journey, then we're wasting all of that time, especially if the outcome is not the outcome we wanted. So, how to enjoy the journey and not the outcome? How to focus on the journey and not the outcome? When you focus only on the goal, your happiness is attached to something you cannot control. It rhymes, so hopefully that'll stick in your head. When you focus only on the goal, your happiness is attached to something you cannot control. Okay? So here's how to focus on the journey more and not exactly the outcome. Number one, focus on the things that you can control. That is how you focus on the journey. You waste time worrying about things that you cannot control. Worrying also robs you of your happiness. In order to enjoy the journey, you will have to conserve your emotional and physical energies and only allocate them to the situations which you can make a real and measurable difference. So, don't give all your energy, don't give all your feelings, don't give all of you to the part of the journey, to the outcome, when the journey is where it should be allocated. Okay? In order to enjoy the journey, you will have to conserve your emotional and physical energies and only allocate them to situations which you can make a real and measurable difference. And this is going to require you to sit down and do some thinking. All right? Reaching your goal is never a mindless, automatic type of thing. You're always going to have to sit down and plan and do some thinking. But this, especially when you want to focus on the journey, you're going to have to think about what deserves your attention, because you don't want to spread yourself thin. And yeah, you're going to have to focus on what things need your attention, and then you're going to have to execute. Because it's one thing to know what parts of the journey need your attention. It's another thing to actually, go forth and give your attention to those things, or to those things. So that was one, focus on what you can control. Number two, reflect daily. Okay. So when we're in the thick of it and we're just plugging away towards our goal, sometimes we don't stop and take time to think about what has happened, the progress that we've made, how far we have to go. We don't think about those things. So reflect daily. Reflect daily. Another way to enjoy the journey is to reflect on it daily. This will keep the journey in the forefront of your mind. It will also help you understand the approaches and understand what approaches are working and which ones need to be revamped. When you are solely focused on your goal, you are not putting such extreme amount of pressure on when you are solely focused on the goal, you are not putting such extreme amount of pressure on yourself, and you have time to stop and see all the positives in your process when you aren't solely focused on the goal. Okay? So reflect daily. Take time to look around, see where you are in the process. Okay? That's important. It's the journey that's important. It's churning of the wheels. It's the, cogs in the wheels. It's how long it takes. It's like, where are you at? What have you done? All of that stuff, that's important. Your outcome is important too. Let's not totally discard the outcome. But the journey is also very important, and sometimes we just don't see it as such. So reflect daily. Number three, celebrate your progress. We don't do that either. Sometimes we delay our celebration until we can actually meet our goal. Well, what if you don't meet your goal? Then you've pretty much passed up all those opportunities to celebrate, and now you have nothing. So celebrate your progress. If you keep your head down and keep plugging away and never stop to assess how far you've come, you'll end up being one sad, burnt out individual. Celebrating your progress not only helps you enjoy the journey, it keeps you motivated, satisfied, and less anxious about the outcome. Okay? So celebrate your progress. Remember to do that. And that's not just at the end where the outcome happens. Celebrate your little milestones. Whatever you've gotten done to get farther on your way, you got to celebrate that. You can't just ignore those things. It's going to lower your morale, and eventually it's going to leave you frustrated. Okay? So, gratitude for where you are. This is important. I know we've all, if you're an adult, you've gone through at least one or two crises in your life. So, you'll probably understand where I'm coming from when you say you need to have gratitude for where you are. Because if you're at a low point in your life, the worst thing you can do is to be ungrateful. That's just going to make your time at your lowest point in your life longer and more miserable. Okay, gratitude helps you out in situations like those because you can see where you are and what you have, and you're less stressed and you don't feel so negative about what you're going through. Okay, so gratitude for where you are. I'm big on gratitude. Gratitude is key if you want to be content with your journey. You cannot control your outcome, but if you choose gratitude, you can always control how you feel about your journey. Gratitude helps you take stock of where you are and clearly see and appreciate your progress. And that is so true, so true. So if you're in the middle of a journey right now, and I'm sure we all are, take time to stop, look around, and be grateful for what you have and where you are. You're probably a lot farther along than you were when you started your journey. And a lot of people don't take time to think about that and to ponder that. Okay? So try to add a little bit of gratitude for where you are. Next, enrich your journey. Again, why not make your journey fun and enjoyable, especially since you're spending so much time in the journey? In the goal reaching process, the journey to reach your goal is easily the longest part. So it makes sense to enjoy and enrich that part. All right. Make it a point to treat yourself when you hit your milestones. Make sure to squeeze in as many new and fun experiences as possible. Okay, so that's important. You don't want to be miserable when you finally meet your goal. You want to be well rounded, happy, and satisfied. And that takes repetitiveness and practice and, changing your thinking. Okay, it also takes fun, immersive experiences to enrich the journey. And that's the kind of journey you want to have. Like I say, you're spending so much time on your journey. You don't want to be miserable for all that time just so that you can reach your goal. Okay? So enrich your journey. Find something fun, exciting, immersive to do. All right? Next, relax and live in the present. Relax and live in the present. And if you're a go-getter, a hardcore go-getter, this might be difficult for you to do. But live your life. You only get one, so enjoy yourself. Relax. Take time to stop and smell the roses. Plant a garden. Take up yoga. Grab a tall glass of lemonade and go sit in the sun. Life is not about running yourself into the ground in pursuit of your goals. I'll repeat that Life is not about running yourself into the ground in pursuit of your goals. Okay? Even God rested on the seventh day after creating the universe. He took time to rest, then you should certainly not be exempt. If he took time to rest, then you should certainly not be exempt. Rest. Take some time to look around, enjoy your surroundings, and relax. All right? You're going to get where you need to go. And you can either be miserable doing it or you can be happy and satisfied. So relax, live in the present. Next, and lastly, accept the journey will take some time. All right, I'm impatient, so this kind of hit me right here in the feels. But yes, accept that your journey is going to take some time. You're going to have to develop some patience here, especially if you're committed to reaching your goal. You're going to have some setbacks. You're just going to have some slowdowns. You're going to run into a few problems. That's life. So accept that the journey will take some time. Either be patient or develop some patience. Goals, good ones at least, take time to accomplish. The day you plant the seed is not the day you reap the harvest. I'll say it again. The day you plant the seed is not the day you reap the harvest. Okay? So, accepting that your journey could take some time is the first step to enjoying your present situation. All right? Develop some patience. Develop some patience. So, what did we talk about tonight? We talked about how to enjoy and focus on the journey rather than the outcome. Why? Because the outcome is not something that you can control, the outcome is out of your control. All right? But how you feel about the journey is not. Focus on what you can control. Reflect daily. Celebrate your progress. Gratitude for where you are. Have some gratitude for where you are. Enrich your journey. Relax and live in the present. And accept that the journey will take some time. Okay? That was tonight's little episode. I will be back with another topic next week. I hope you all have a wonderful week and weekend and take some time to enjoy your journeys. If you'd like to get in contact with me, you can always reach me on Facebook at Karen, Karon, Mack, Mack. On Instagram, it's Karen_Mack. My website is KarenMack.com. And yes, I would love to hear from you on all of those platforms. If you have show ideas, you can let me know that as well. I would definitely take those into consideration. It was wonderful seeing you all again, and I will see you very soon.